What's up, y'all? How we doing? It is week 4 NFL season. It's Big Chef. I'm in the building. I'm solo dolo today, but I'm putting together a little show for you. If you got any start sit questions, things like that, just tap in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them, and as we go along, there's also a post up on the Facebook and Instagram. You can drop your questions there, and I'll tune into those throughout the day. OG, the rest of us possibly as well. Um, as you know, we had a game this morning. It's still going on right now. If you woke up and Alvin Kamara was in your running back spot, that's rough. At least he's not in your flex. Maybe you can swap something in if something happens. So always put your early players and stuff in your position players so you can swap the flex out and do some other things if you have to. I picked Minnesota in this game, Minnesota, New Orleans. It's a good game. It's tight, 3-point game, and yeah, it's gonna end about 9 minutes. So looking forward to the end of that. Gotta love football all day. Pretty cool. I'm basically gonna do my starts of the week and my some players you might want to fade, maybe some entire backfields, things like that. Um, So yeah, we'll start it off. I'm gonna go with quarterbacks first. My matchup of the week for this is gonna be Allen versus Lamar. It's gonna be sick, man. I'm excited to see two electric quarterbacks go at it. I just happen to have them in a 2 QB league that I'm in. It's pretty sweet. Uh, the number 1 and number 2 fantasy quarterbacks of the year so far, they've outscored, like I said, big combos even. Outscoring Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. Allen and Lamar are both doing that right now. So that's going to be a fun one to watch. Obviously, their defenses haven't really been showing up for them very well. Buffalo's defense is just decimated. So Lamar is a great start this week. And I'm also going to touch on some DFS type plays and things like that later on, too. Mahomes versus Brady this week, going to be a good one. Like I said, I don't expect defense to really show up in that one either. My man Herbie, hopefully he gets a nice bounce back this week. I don't have a ton of faith, though, to be honest with you. He does still seem pretty injured, but we'll see. Maybe a little bounce back. He's got a great matchup. He's still top 10 versus Houston, so we'll see. My man Jalen Hurts is killing it. Got a great matchup against Jacksonville. Very excited to see what he's doing. It's kind of what I predicted for Philly. I kind of like them. I expected him to take that next step, and he kind of has, which is pretty sweet. And it's just nice to see because he's a talented player, and it's nice to see talent thrive. So. Like I said, if you have any questions or things like that, go ahead and post them in the comments, and I'll answer them as we go. So yeah, a couple people I think you should probably fade this week. I'm fading Zach Wilson. It's first week back. Don't know how he's going to do. Don't know if he's still injured. He is cleared. I know they didn't rush him back, but I'd just be wary of Zach Wilson. He has a pretty rough schedule going forward. And yeah, maybe fading him this week. Steelers defense hasn't been great, but I'm also fading Davis Mills. I expect Indy to kind of come back out and try to pop them in the mouth. Divisional game, and he just hasn't looked that great. The wide receivers haven't looked great, and he's just a quarterback I'm fading this week. And if you're starting him in anything other than super flex or 2 QB, you're probably having way worse problems than I can fix on this early Sunday morning show. So we got another one to fade just because he even came out and admitted himself he's just been hot garbage. I thought he was going to take a huge step forward and be pretty decent this year, and that's Justin Fields. Chicago looks terrible all around. I know there were reports that this was probably one of the worst offenses that they've had in God knows how long ever. But yeah, he's been terrible. I don't think that they have more than 30 completions total as a team. So that's a quarterback stat line on any given Sunday. I just I don't like Justin Fields at this point. You can kind of drop him unless you're in Dynasty, things like that. Maybe get what you can get for him. But yeah, that's my QBs so far this week. Let's go ahead and move into running backs. My number one running back this week, Nick Chubb versus Atlanta. Dude's been killing it, smashing it. He is the number one overall running back. I think that's PPR or standard. Um, just been crushing it. He's got a great matchup versus Atlanta. I just like what he's doing. They run the rock a ton, get Amari Cooper open, and that's it, man. They've just been playing as great as a squad, and so far Jacoby Brissett's actually shown up decently. Been a good game manager. So Khalil Herbert versus the New York Giants. He's my 8 running back this week. My number 8. I like that. You could have picked him up off the waiver wire. A lot of people didn't pick him up. He played decent last year when Montgomery was hurt. It's kind of the trend. Montgomery gets hurt at least 4 or 5 games, something like that. So look for him to play really well. I know that New York Giants defense has been playing better than we kind of thought it would. But I like him this week. I think he's my number 8 RB, and that's kind of what I'm sticking with. And like I said, for picking him up off the waiver wire, that's fantastic. My next one, also a guy you probably could have picked up off the waivers if you didn't, kind of tune into the DeAndre Swift saga. They've kind of been saying like, oh, questionable, but then the coach is like, no, he's probably out 4 weeks, and it's just been going back and forth. If you're a DeAndre Swift owner, you're a little bit frustrated. Unless you have Jamal Williams, traded for him this week, gave up a pick for next year, but I got to do what I got to do, He's versus Seattle. He's my number 5 RB this week. Crushed it when DeAndre went down last week. So, I mean, in PPR, he's just going to eat the ball up. Targets, just getting 10 targets plus a game. I like Jamal Williams to crush double-digit fantasy points this week. Like I said, RB5 for me. Two RBs that I'm fading, and it's not just one player themselves. It's the Jets running backs and Seattle running backs. It's really because I don't know who's getting. I know who's getting most of the touches, but the production and things like that have been inconsistent. I like Breece Hall and I like Michael Carter. They do different things. Breece Hall's been killing it out of the backfield PPR style. Carter's been getting most of the touches on the ground. Hopefully he gets the goal line touches. Hopefully my Jets can pull one off against the Steelers. I don't know. Like I said, I got them winning maybe 5 games this year. So same thing in Seattle, though. Penny, not a huge fan. Can't stay healthy, all that type of stuff. And then Walker's kind of come on. He's getting his touches. He's getting his love. He's getting his play. And we'll see what he can do. But right now, with their matchups too, I would fade him for today, unless maybe DFS or something like that. Unless you're super desperate for a flex spot. Let's move to wide receiver. My number 1 wide receiver, start him up this week. I love it. Amari Cooper, he's been playing great, running the routes like he should. He's one of the best route runners out there. I really like him this week. I like his matchup. He's the top guy for me for sure. Had a great week last week. Scored 25 fantasy points, PPR style. And then we got my boy Terry McLaurin. I like him this week. Start him up. And these are kind of my sleepers. I like him this week though. Terry McLaurin. I like Debo. Great matchup versus the Rams. Ramsey hasn't been what he's been lately, and that's been a turnover pick machine. He just hasn't had it. So I like Debo to show up today, maybe get some touches out of the backfield, some stuff like that. So and my last one, kind of far down on the list, Isaiah McKenzie. Really, really like him. He's been playing fantastic. With Gabe Davis kind of banged up, I like his chances. So I'm gonna give you some of my fades for the week. Devontae Smith. He was great last week. I just don't expect him to repeat the same type of performance. And then, sorry, I couldn't read what I had here. Any Panthers wide receiver. The coach has been kind of talking smack. Matt Rule, Baker Mayfield has not, been playing like we thought. He should be at least be a bit better than Sam Darnold. Um, I just I would fade all the Panthers wide receivers. You don't know who's going to come on week to week, and it's just kind of sad to watch. All right, we're gonna move into tight ends. Sorry for that. We got T.J. Hawkinson trying to start Waller and Fryermuth. I like all three of those. I don't really have anybody to fade. Tight end is just kind of an abysmal position, and it is what it is. I like Hawkinson's matchup. Waller, he's been kind of, you haven't heard from him, so I like him to pop up this week. He he's got a decent matchup versus Denver. They just haven't been playing well. Their defense needs to get a little bit better. So we got Fryermuth, like I said at the end there. I like this kid. He's been showing up. He's got a rough matchup against my Jets, but I don't know. He's been feasting, so I like him to get some touches. And when I say feasting, 3 or 4 catches, maybe a touchdown. That's kind of tight ends feasting, unless you're the likes of my man Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce. So let's hop into DFS. I got some. I got my pay ups and my buy lows. So these are the people you're going to pay up for, and the people you're going to buy low. I'll go position by position, and yeah, we got Josh Allen at my QB position. I'm paying up for Josh Allen. I like him this week. He's expensive, but man, the points that he puts up, you're looking at probably 50 points. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can't really be too mad at that. Um, 8,400. That's what it was. Sorry. 8,400 from a man, Josh Allen. My buy low is going to be Matt Ryan. He's got a decent matchup versus Tennessee. Only 5,600 bucks. Hasn't been putting up a ton of points. But like I said, if you're going low, that's pretty low for a QB. RBs, I got Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler. Um, and then for my buy lows, I got Pierce out of Houston and Brees Hall. Um, those are going to run you right around 6,000, right in between there, 5,600. So right around the middle. I think Brees Hall's 54, so a little bit less on that one. Um, then I also have for my wide receivers, Stephon Diggs. He is my buy or my pay up. He is also expensive. Sorry guys, my list just keeps messing up on me. It's great. For my buy lows, I'm going on the same team. I like a lot of Bills this week. Um, they just have a great matchup. It's going to be a good game against Baltimore. But my buy low is Isaiah McKenzie. Dude's been tearing it up. Like I said, with Gabe Davis out, it has been nice to see him feast. And Stephon Diggs, which is great for Josh Allen owners. When you get a nice stack, though, Josh Allen, Isaiah McKenzie, and then another buy low I got is Garrett Wilson from the Jets. Great matchup with Pittsburgh. And Michael Gallup making his debut today for Dallas. Kind of excited to see what he can do. And then for tight ends, we got my pay up's going to be Darren Waller. I hope looking for a big week out of him. Think they're going to get him the ball. They got to move the ball around. They got to get they got to target somebody besides Devontae Adams because it's one dimensional offense. Run game looks terrible, and I just don't know what's going on there in Las Vegas. And man, I tell you what, people I know who are fans are not happy. My buy lows for the week though are Njoku and Conklin. A lot of these I've made a couple different lineups. You can get a bunch of these guys in there. They all have great matchups. Look for your green matchups. Look for your stacks, things like that. And that's really how you want to knock it out for DFS. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit us up. Send us a DM. go to one of the posts. I do have a start sit post up right now. Go check that out. Also, tune in this week. We'll have our weekly review. We'll do our start sits for Thursday Night Football, DFS, and things like that. As always, y'all, highly appreciate you. And Fsqc out, baby.